As a black kid who grew up in the 2010s, Tyler Perry was sort of a staple in my household. I mean, we had the plays, we had the movies, Medea's Family Reunion, Why Did I Get Married, Think Like a Man, all these like hit movies. And, back in the day, I didn't really think much of Tyler Perry, to be honest. I mean, I loved Medea. I still do to this day. But with getting older and expanding my horizons in terms of like media and like music and stuff like that, nowadays Tyler Perry really isn't that good of a director to me or writer at that. And I want to explore that today. So yes, the topic of today is Tyler Perry and why I personally think that his movies suck. And before we start, I just want to say I don't hate Tyler Perry. I really don't. Even though I think most of his movies are the same fucking shit, I genuinely don't hate the guy, okay? I respect like the hustle. I respect like how he came from nothing and became a billionaire. I genuinely do respect that. But me personally, I just feel like it doesn't really add up. Now let's rewind back to the beginning. Tyler Perry got his start by writing and producing stage plays, often inspired by his own life experiences and themes of faith, family, and personal transformation. His big break was Diary of a Mad Black Woman in 2005, which became a box office hit, earning over $50 million on a $5 million budget. This became a staple of Tyler Perry's movies, as normally his movies don't cost that much to make, but they always make a lot in the box office. His movies typically focus on black trauma, mostly regarding black women, black women getting beat down, but then, through like their faith and through like their family, they persevere for everything and make it to a happy ending, movies like that. Tyler Perry is known for making movies like that. And that's kind of where my first problem lies with him. His movies always center on like the trauma of black women, which look, obviously, black women's trauma is definitely an important thing to focus on, especially nowadays, because when you really think about it, black women have been suffering in America for a long ass time. But I feel like it's kind of distasteful, or I guess not distasteful, but it's kind of stereotypical, for all of his movies to include black women that are going through it in some way or another. When in reality, not every black woman is like that. There are genuinely successful black women out there who aren't getting beat down by an abusive partner or who are down their luck, broke down, homeless. There are successful black women out there, but you will never see that in a Tyler Perry movie because most of them are struggling. And it kind of pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. Now, being someone that was raised by a single mom who was also raised by a single mom, I can definitely say that, look, I get it. It's definitely like important to focus on these types of stories. At the same time, like, not every black woman is struggling like the girls in these movies. Now, one of the main reasons I chose to make this video was because earlier this summer, I saw one of Tyler Perry's movies that he released called Straw, which featured Taraji P. Henson, starring as Janiyah Wilkinson, a single mother living in a broke-down apartment with her frequently ill daughter, Arya. And then in the course of one day, Janiyah loses her apartment, her daughter, and her job. And she almost gets robbed, but then shoots the guy, but then her manager thinks that she's like trying to set him up and get like all the money that he had. So then he calls the cops on her. So then she proceeds to shoot him, which he definitely deserved it, by the way. If you watch the movie, he definitely deserved it. And then after that, she proceeds to go to the bank to try to cash a check. And then everyone thinks she's robbing the bank because they think she has a bomb in her backpack and she has a gun. And basically, yeah, she just has a mental breakdown throughout the course of the movie. And then just when you think the movie can't get any worse, towards the end of the movie, Janiyah's mom calls her while she's still in the bank. And then Janiyah's mom basically reminds her that her daughter died at the beginning of the movie, which basically means that all the moments we saw of her daughter before she started robbing the bank, they weren't even real because her daughter wasn't even there. She had been hallucinating the entire fucking day. And one of the main focal points of like the movie while she's in the bank is that she wants someone to take care of her daughter while she's in jail. But the daughter's not even alive. Like, what the fuck? And on top of that, they do a little fake out ending where the SWAT team comes in and they shoot her up, right? But then they show the actual ending, which is where Tiana Taylor leaves her out of the bank and then she gets put in a cop car and most likely goes to jail. So then, yeah, the ending of the movie was not a happy ending at all. The entire movie, Janiyah's just getting beat down over and over and over again. Like, and literally for nothing, basically. Like, what the fuck? Now look, in movies like Diary of a Mad Black Woman, yes, this same formula applies as well. Helen gets beat down for like a good portion of the movie, but then she has a little like, spiritual arc where she starts like finding the confidence in herself again. And then when she has to go take care of her husband after he gets shot in the back, she actually like gives him the business, like she whoops his ass a bit. She makes him feel exactly the same way that he made her feel when he kicked her out of the house. And by the end of the movie, she doesn't get back with him, thank God. And she ends up with that light-skinned dude. And they have a happy ending, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was hoping would happen in this movie. Well, not exactly. But I was hoping that Janiyah would get a good ending, right? But then no. She's a shitty-ass ending after a shitty-ass movie. What the fuck? Like, genuinely, I don't get who can sit down and watch this movie and tell me it's good. And I know they're probably gonna say, this is like a sad story, about like a black woman that's just doing all she can. Like, yes, I understand that, but the, you would think there would at least be a happy ending for her. She gets nothing. They give her nothing. The movie ends and she's literally going to fucking jail after just processing the fact that her daughter died in the morning. Are you kidding me? Like, this movie is so fucking stupid. Why do you keep defending this movie? I don't get this. There's so many good movies out there. You want to watch this piece of shit? Oh my, like, what the fuck, Tyler? Basically, I didn't like the movie, and I felt that the movie is just the same shit that Tyler Perry's been doing for a long ass time now. Just dramatizing black trauma, specifically towards black women, in order to get like views on Netflix and shit. And honestly, like, I feel like ever since he got that Netflix deal, he's just really been doubling down all the bullshit that usually be in his scripts. Because if you've watched Tyler Perry movies, it's always the same fucking formula with just different actors or like a different, like, he rearranges like how everything happens, shit like that. Another thing that I have to say about Tyler Perry is that the man needs a writer's room. Like, I'm being dead serious. I know that one of the big staples about Tyler Perry is that he writes everything himself, but that is one of my main issues with him. He writes everything by himself. And usually when someone's writing a bunch of movies and TV shows by themselves, they tend to pull on the same fucking shit. There's only a few select writers that actually like come up with something new every time they make a script. But with Tyler, it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like he just does the same fucking stereotypical ass shit every time with just different people. And he rearranges it in some way or another, or just adds like a funny moment in to make it seem like that it's not the same fucking movie as the last movie I just watched. But in reality, they're both the same fucking movie. Like, generally, the main reason I do not be watching these Tyler Perry TV shows is because they always follow the same fucking script, dude. It's always some generic ass, dramatic ass, family drama bullshit, generational trauma bullshit, fucking affair bullshit, cheating bullshit, abuse bullshit. You get what I'm saying? He pulls on the same fucking shit. And I'm really just sick of it. And I'm sick of people giving this shit a fucking platform and applauding him for it. Like, don't applaud him for this shit. This shit is not applause worthy. This is some bullshit a Tubi director would make. And you know what? Most Tubi directors make better movies than Tyler Perry has made in the past 5 fucking years. And it feels like I might be capping by saying that, but honestly, it's probably true. Now, I don't get why Tyler Perry decides to write everything by himself. I can probably look it up real quick. Hold on. A matter of work ethic? Okay, dude. Anyways, but the main thing I've been saying for like a long time now is that Tyler Perry would definitely benefit from having a writer's room. Because in writer's rooms, you tend to have different people that can bring different perspectives to like certain characters or just like stories, stuff like that. Writer's rooms are where people can build off of each other's ideas and ultimately come up with the best product. But with Tyler, he writes everything himself. So he's just building off of the same shit that he's already done before. And he's probably just telling himself that, what if I do this same thing again, but then I do it in this way? Like, it's totally genius, dude. Like, no, it's not fucking genius. It's just fucking lazy. I think for the longest time, Tyler Perry could get away with doing shit like this because for a long time, he was the only major black director in the industry. I mean, there was Spike Lee, of course, but Spike Lee was never like Tyler Perry level big, But nowadays with Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler and Ava DuVernay and all these other amazing black directors that I don't know about yet, but I'll probably find out about eventually, Tyler Perry really just can't compete with these guys artistically, It feels like he kind of peaked artistically with his earlier movies, Like Why Did I Get Married, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, movies like that. Back then, I think he peaked. And since then, he's just been doing the same shit. And it works because he's established a fan base that will keep watching these movies no matter how bad they are. I think the black community specifically just needs to stop applauding Tyler for doing the same mediocre shit every movie. And maybe then he'll actually start trying. But until then, as long as we keep rewarding him for this mediocre behavior, he's gonna keep doing the same mediocre crap. So to summarize my video, Tyler Perry sucks at making movies. I'm not gonna lie. He really does. Maybe once he was good, but nowadays he's just not, okay? And honestly, in my opinion, he should focus on producing. Because generally, if I see one more Tyler Perry movie that's just the same cookie cutter bullshit, I'm actually gonna fucking crash up. Until next time, guys, this has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants.